Tutorial, I'm going to show you Inklewriter. Inklewriter is a currently free online resource. The URL is writer.inklestudios.com, and it lets you create basically choose your own adventure books. So right now I'm logged in with a free account. There is an option if you go to their site to even just create a story on the fly without signing in. So if you want to do that with a group of students and not save the progress, that's an option too. I'm going to go over here to open and select this story I've started just to kind of give you an idea or an overview of what this resource is. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to the top. You can see here you have a written prompt that you write. In this case, it's a snow day, getting a phone call. You can see here there are two options that you can choose from that you would select next. So if I select this one, you can see how it opens up to more information than with more choices. At any point, I can go back to my original story and shrink it and then show my next option. You notice you can embed in text and images. At any point at the top, I can click on map. It'll show me kind of how my story is connected. So in this case, you can see from one point, it jumps to an option that's also available from another point. A lot of times in the choose your own adventure type books that could happen. You're following along and it will give you two options. You follow one and lo and behold you may end up having to take the original anyway. So that's kind of neat. And if I click on the read, this will show you kind of the view that someone who is following the story would see. So you can see the text. Here's the options. I can pick one. I can pick the other. Gives me more text, more options here. And then I can go back and hide those options if I want to go back to the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to start one from scratch to show you how it's made. So I'm going to click on New. Give us title. I'll just call this one Practice. Okay, it gives you this prompt once upon a time, but you can start your story however you want to. So let's say I'm going to do kind of a mystery story. So one, I can spell, gloomy, stormy day, there was a knock on the door. Okay, so you can write as much or as little as you want to. Here you can see is where you can add an option. So one option I'm going to have in this case is, do you answer the door? Do you run and hide? Do you make your older sister answer it instead? Because you are a coward. Okay? You can see here it tells you have 3 loose ends and it would list them. Okay, as many different options as you want for your story. Right, that lets you know that you have to go back and add options for these. At any point, if you have too many options, you could always click out and delete an option. So in this case, I'm going to have just 2. Do you answer the door or do you run and hide? If I click to follow the option, it's going to give me another writing prompt where I fill in what would happen if you followed that prompt. So in this case, if I answer the door, at the door there is a used vacuum cleaner salesman. What do you do now? And obviously you could do more options from there. You could do more text if you wanted to. After you follow all of one option back, remember you can always rewind to fill in more options. So you You are hiding under the bed when the person comes in anyway. Right? And from there I could add an option what I'd do from there. You notice on the side there's some basic formatting options. So I can make, for example, that word bold and italic. If you have multiple paragraphs, you can join them together. Here's the option where you can insert an image. If I go to add an image, the way it adds it is it needs the URL of where the image exists online. So you can't upload images directly to Inklewriter. You'd have to have them uploaded someplace else or find an image online. So for example, if I did a Google search for a bed, in images, from there I can select a specific image, let's say this one, and I can get the URL just for that image. Now the one thing to remember if you're doing online images is that you need to make sure that you use either copyright or some kind of sourcing for your image. So I would just put this URL in here, and I would have a image to go with my story. Once you're done your story, at any point when you're signed in, if you go to open, it'll show you all your open stories, so you can go back and edit them. And that's pretty much the basics.